To help out with your unity, have you noticed a specific characteristic or trend that's within each decade or generation?
Yeah, well, the style of rap is always constantly changing. As far as trends, I would say, you know, we've established ourselves as still a music that is, at least the artists coming out of SAC, we've had some really good artists. The trend is still gritty, you know, so when you say the trend, do you mean as far as the style of the music? Or?
Yeah, like something that a certain city hasn't let go and kept hold on.
It's actually a good question.
Because that seems, from an outside perspective, I see that SAC had like a horrorcore, you know, like a dark image.
It's great that you mentioned that.
Gangster.
Yeah.
And that's definitely there, but like from your perspective, besides me identifying gangster and darkness, what have you identified?
Well, what I've always tried to flip both sides, where not so much horrorcore. My guy, Brother Lynch, has really solidified us in that area, and then other artists that are linked with Lynch. That's one of the biggest. The reason why that's synonymous with us is because that sold more than any other genre coming out of SAC is the gangster horrorcore. Now, keep in mind, Brother Lynch started a whole new, which is another first. I mean, when horrorcore came out, it was like a movie on CD, you know, and even though his messages are dark, he's very talented at what he does. And so, you know, he sold millions of copies himself, you know, and he's helped out the fabric of our music strengthen, even though it's not necessarily the front of what we like people to know us for. His music is solid, you know, and as an artist, you know, I respect what he does. I always try to keep it positive. I always had positive messages in my music, which is the reason why I was able to go as far as I did. Sacramento, I felt at the time I wanted positivity to be out there more so than the negativity, even though I knew it was part of the music. And I have songs that have been probably a little dark for people who listen to me, you know, as opposed to some of the earlier stuff. But yeah, I mean, we try to balance it, you know, but whatever people like is what takes off. So, you know, people got into that horrorcore because it was different. There was nobody coming from that angle, you know, of kind of like a movie, a horror movie on CD. So I always challenge the artists here to try to break a new genre if you can, you know, be original as you can be, and do something that's never been done. Lynch was able to do that. It's hard nowadays to come out with a new genre because we touched everything. You know, rap music has touched drugs, it's touched, you know, the gangsterism, it's touched some positivity. We've had females singing over our songs that gave them more of an R&B feel. Once singers came into hip-hop music, it did make our music more radio play, more radio friendly. And so, you know, it just depends on the artist you follow. You know, there are artists here still trying to do positive music. You know, it's just a matter of giving them venues or avenues in which to channel it through. You know, because sometimes the industry only wants to hear the controversial stuff. Sometimes they only promote the controversial stuff. So you're challenged if you're a positive artist to try to get your positivity out there. That's why we need people like you guys to support that. If you hear a positive message in a song out of Sacramento, support it. You know, support it, help it to get to the forefront. You know, because yeah, we do have the dark image. You know, but we still got great young artists here who are trying, and I'm working with them, so I know that they're trying to get music out. We're trying to help them get it out. I know that we've got availability to every platform now, Spotify, Apple Music, all of them. We can get artists out now. It's just a matter of the people wanting to hear it. You know, sometimes you know, sad a little bit because sometimes, you know, people want to hear the negative more so than the positive, and you know, that's probably just speaking to our human nature. But if you have a good, I found if you have a good positive song, it'll still get out there. You know, but you guys need to support it. You know, if you hear it.
Yeah, before the Lynch era, DC Ray's music was fun and respectful. Listen to this, have a good time. Party, yeah. And then
and that's how rap started. Rap started all about the party. You know, we go out to parties and we talk
Dance
about
crews.
Yeah, dance crews, all of that. You know, it was really fun, and before it got dangerous. You know, and so yeah, and I'm glad I'm a part of that era. I'm glad I represent a part of that era. I'm glad that people see me that way. I'd rather have a positive image. You know, positive image, you go a lot further than you do with a negative image. However, even with that said, if the music's good, you still get respect. But yeah, I like to go to a party and be able to relax and not really have to worry about having to carry a gun today. So I mean, you know, but it is part of the music, and I acknowledge that. So if it's even gangster rappers, if they can keep their venues safe, if they can keep their venues where people can enjoy themselves, come out and enjoy their music, then I think it would be less scary, you know, for the fan. You know, the fan wants to come out and hear your songs. If you are a gangster rapper, you don't want to have to worry about if you're going to make it out of there. So, you know, I think, you know, as long as, and I think promoters do a good job of trying to provide people a safe environment for those artists to be able to do their music and get their messages out there too. But yeah, you know, it's nothing like good positive stuff. So I feel blessed to have been a part of that chapter that's happening in music. You know. And I'm still here, you know, and I'm still influencing, but yeah, I guess I'm not trying to be a big star anymore. I've kind of been through that phase, and now I'm more of a mentor. So, you know, but people know who I am, and I've left my mark. So, you know, I'm happy to have left a mark.
Yeah, I dedicated the book to you because of the risk you took when you were young. We all have benefited and really appreciate it. You know, just taking that risk.
Yeah, because it wasn't always fashionable to be positive. You know, there was a lot of times, you know, guys, they want me to be like them, you know, and so, you know, but, you know, I try to encompass all things in life, so the positive side is part of that too, so, you know, I'm glad that, and overall I've got the respect of all artists, you know, and you know, that's all you can really ask for, you know, and when we set out to do this for fun, you know, we loved rapping, and, you know, from the house parties to the big shows, you know, I was blessed enough to perform all over the country, and you know, I like you know, the responses that I have gotten from people, and I've had all kinds of people. It wasn't just one genre of people. It was all kinds of people at my shows. You know, I never really knew where that came from, but I was glad that I was able to affect different classes and cultures of people. When I won the Sacramento Area Music Awards, it was such a diverse crowd. I liked it. I liked that I was able to get through.
Yeah.
Well, it's appreciated.
Yeah, I'm glad you came. Man. That makes there's depth to this event. Our cultural event. But another fact was Dr. Dre scratched on his own. Oh, the song scratch motion.
World class.
World class record. Yeah, Dr. Dre before he became NWA. Yeah, you know, we're kind of sewn into his history too.
Is there any truth to that? The whole the Eazy-E song, "Real Motherfucking G's," where you know he's kind of knocked on him about the whole makeup.
He did.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said. During that era is when he was scratching on it.
Oh, yeah, and Dre he was nothing like he is now. You know, Dre's maturation process, you know, it was interesting because yeah, he went from dance music, you know, kind of that. Yeah, he was doing that, and all of a sudden, a few years later, Dre's coming out, you know, saying stuff that we had never heard before. That's what made NWA a groundbreaking group. You know, a lot of us was thinking about it. They actually had the balls to say it, and you know, and got rich doing it. But you know, yeah, Dre had a more humble beginning. You know, more party style in the beginning. You know, and that's how West Coast rap was. At that time, it was 120 beats per minute. Everything was fast. And so, and Dre was a DJ. So, you know, Dre was into rocking the party. You know, and that's what rapping was all about, rocking the party. You know, coming out there and making people, hey, jump and have a good time. And you know, that's what Dre was. And so when he scratched on Scratch Motion, we never knew he was going to become the icon he's become now. But yeah, it's good to have a piece of that in our history too. You know, the Scratch Motion, You know, we actually did a song called We Love You, Marvin. When Marvin Gaye had passed away, Marvin Gaye was the most influential artist to me, even in my era. You know, there'll never be another him. And so, you know, we wanted to give our thanks to Marvin. That song didn't go as big as the Scratch Motion did. The Scratch Motion, believe it or not, D.E. is still, they're still spinning it out in the UK. Yeah, it's because they've grown to have a love for the old school rap.
I spent a week just bumping it straight, nonstop, on loop. I love that song.
Yeah, man, it's interesting.
And the book actually talked about that song, and it's like, to me, that song is a symbol of how to make it work, because you guys are like, kind of like going back and forth. And it was like, it wasn't you guys just coming in line, well, I got my part. It was like you guys seemed to have written it together.
Yeah, we were big on everything integrated with each
Yeah,
other.
I love that.
I mean, we had harmonies, we had tones, we had, you know, that was the reason why we won a lot of battles, you know, because a lot of groups did just that, they just come with their part. And we did a lot of battling back then. We never lost. We never lost because our group was, you know, we were in sync with each other. And, you know, we all had the same love, the same direction. And that's important when you put together a group. It's hard sometimes for every band member to be on the same direction. That's why bands eventually, over time, kind of they break up. You know, usually 3 or 4 guys have one direction, the other guy has another direction, and so they go their own ways. But we were able to make that work, and we found that other rappers started copying it. You know, they started copying it and having little things like us. But that's how we knew we were pretty good, because, you know, whenever people start cloning you know you must be doing something.
Man, I love to make a song like going back and forth.
We can do one for the love of the game. I'm still in it. So, we still, you know, I feel like God gave me a talent to communicate. And you know, whether it's through music or through book signings like this, you know, I really, you know, want to use it to its fullest. So, you know, if you ever want to do a song,
Oh, man, you already know. And make sure he signs all of the books. Because he's on the cover.
Man, I appreciate that too. I've never been on the cover of books, so.
Man, yeah, I have because the whole DC era of the DC Ray era of the book is, to me, the most fascinating part of the book. Your part. I mean, it's just fascinating to me, you know. And everybody thinks it started with Lynch. It did not start.
Oh, yeah, Lynch was way after. Yeah, way after. I actually talked to Lynch. I have a video of Lynch acknowledging that he got it from me, you know, and I appreciate him for that. A lot of guys, when they get to a certain level in the game, they don't acknowledge who their mentors were. Right. And Lynch fully, we went and had a release party for an artist named Lizzo some years back, and Lynch was there, and we had some video cameras there, and Lynch was like, yeah, this is the guy that put me up on the game. You know, DC Ray. I got into rap listening to DC Ray, and I appreciate that, because I'm a fan of his too. You know, I mean, he broke open a new genre that no one was doing, so even though it's a little, you know, in Lynch's beginnings, you know, he was definitely saying some risky things to say, but, you know, sometimes you do have to jump out there. You know, but, you know, I appreciate him acknowledging the guys who got it started. So, yeah, you can ask Lynch. So for people who think Lynch started, all they have to do is talk to Lynch. He'll tell them.
I'll read the book.
Who do you guys think was better, Lynch or SIBO, like, and why?
I like Lynch because he made beats. Like, you know,
I like Lynch because I think Lynch has more range. I think SIBO, Bo reps. Bo is good at what he does. You know, I respect Bo too. But I would say Lynch because Lynch has a range of styles. To me, his range, to me, the more range you have, the more valuable you are. Right. You know, so, you know, Lynch, I mean, if Lynch wanted to switch it up, he could. I mean, the dude's got the skill, he's got the writing, because you have to be a good writer too. You know, and so Lynch is a great writer, and his ability to move the rhythm with the beat is unique too. So yeah, I would give Lynch a slight nod, even though I respect Bo. And what Bo's done for Southside, Sac, and his music that he's put out there. He can only rap what his life has been about.
Right.
And so but Bo does good at what he does. So, but yeah, to answer that question, that's how I feel.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up. This is, like I said, my first time doing this. I really appreciate you guys have a very special place in my heart. Appreciate you guys coming out. Just sometimes you gotta put things together, throw yourself out there, meet new people. So yeah, make sure DC Ray signs his book because he is part of this histories, like the main one. But I had to reach out to make sure I get this stuff.
I'm glad I didn't miss this, man. I wish they'd make an interview a little earlier. I'm glad I didn't miss it. For the people that stayed, I appreciate you guys coming out here and supporting it. This is something that SAC always needs to do. In the beginning when we first started, to get people to support SAC, even in Sacramento was tough. But as we started gaining momentum, more people started latching on and started having some sort of pride in where they live and things that were coming out here. And Sacramento is a rich city as far as the talent and the artists. We've had artists from all genres, rock, reggae, rap, everything, all the genres. All the genres we've had stars come out of Sacramento, and even in movies. So I mean, Sacramento has a very rich artistic history. So I'm glad we have a piece of it. So it's good you guys actually physically came out here because that means a lot to the guys who put it together. I'm sure it means a lot to D.E. I never cared when I first started. I didn't care if it was 5 people in the room or 5,000 people. It's still the same. I still want to perform well for those 5 people who came out and said, hey, I came to see some DC Ray. Don't give me no half show.
That's right. I was in my car thinking, should I wear the chain? I was like, yes. Just like he said, I don't care. As long as one person now wearing the chain.
What does the chain represent to you?
Like our era, like the Tretch, Naughty by Nature, just the grit.
I got them too. I've interviewed them too.
Oh.
It's funny because people used to say me and Tretch, because that's when I had my braids in my hair. People used to say me and Tretch look alike, especially her back there. And so we had a chance to finally put that to rest. Because I interviewed him and I was standing next to him. I didn't think I really looked that much like her. She still says yes, but
identical.
Wow.
And I used to wear a big chain like that too. I had all kinds of chains. So I can relate to that.
All right, so thank you guys. Yes.
Do you have any words of wisdom for upcoming
Artists.
artists?
I would say, despite what anybody says, whether where you're coming from, what you continue to do, you be you, give your all to it. If you give your all to it, usually you'll get something out of it. We did it because we loved it. So do it because you love it. Because once you really get in it, there can be some bumps and bruises, but when you love it, it comes with the game. So I mean, I just say, do you stay true to it and really put effort into it? Because coming out of SAC, you do got to put some effort. It's not going to just fall on your lap. Some artists think that in the old days it used to be somebody finds you, signs you, puts you out. Nowadays, a lot of the artists that are out are independents. They're independents now, and the majors used to have a foothold and just buy out all the independents. But now independents have grown so much. Guys want to control their own destiny that it's become way more valuable. Artists are true artists now, as opposed to what the majors want you to be. Back in the day, the majors used to mold you. They used to say, we don't want you to do this. We want you to do this because this is what's selling. And so artists didn't have all the creativity they have now. So I think we're in a good era right now. I think because of the electronics age, guys can put together stuff from their home, from a home garage. They can put together stuff at a regular studio. And really, regular studios are almost almost starting to become obsolete. Yeah, it's just like
sure.
you guys all remember Tower Records. What happened when music was able to be bought on the internet? Tower Records was an institution here. Russ Solomon was an institution here. All the Tower Records were worldwide. Gone. It's amazing to me how being able to download a song for 99 cents killed the whole record industry, sales, retail industry. And it's the same thing with studios. Studios have become the same way because you can now buy those same programs that studio and engineers use at home to make your own stuff. I know a guy who does it. And so, he saves the money, but I think the one aspect you lose is, in the studio, you can get into a zone. You can get into a zone and collab, and there is a certain atmosphere the studio gives the artist that I think is valuable. I hope it never goes away. I'd like to see studios stay. I hope the internet and the availability of engineering programs online don't kill that. But back to your question, just stay true to it and put your all into it and try to get as far as you can.